Hello everybody, it's Rob Dunn once again from the Spiceworks community, and you may have seen some of the other videos that I put out. I've been trying to put out some instructional tutorial videos for the plugins that I have written for Spiceworks. By no means am I a professional developer. I just kind of hack my way through things, so I use the word developer very loosely when I describe myself. But with that being said, I wanted to try and branch out a little bit with these videos and start doing some kind of, cursory reviews of other plugins out there that some really talented people have been developing for Spiceworks that help kind of enhance the entire user experience. So today I've decided to do a quick little video on Pepper Roles, which is it's a permissions management plugin, as you can see here, by Michael Maw. He goes by jMichael in the community. He's got a few other plugins and applications out there. One of the most popular plugins out there right now is the Help Desk Power Pack, which, among other things, and I do mean other things. So the only thing that I've had to use that for, or that I've really seen other people using it for, with regards to some of my plugins, is the capability of creating required fields on the portal or inside of a help desk ticket, so that the user has to click a category before they submit or close a ticket. So anyway, he's got another full application, the actual full Spiceworks integrated application called Pepper Pack, which looks to be very cool. It kind of integrates various aspects of Spiceworks, like the inventory and everything, into the help desk ticketing a lot more than what it is currently. So if you have a chance, you should check that out as well. But anyway, today we're going to talk about Pepper Roles, and essentially what it is it's a permissions management plugin, like it says here, and it looks like Michael had developed this because he kind of found the built-in permissions kind of lacking, and he's absolutely right. This is something that people have been asking for quite a while, the ability to kind of lock down settings in Spiceworks to a more granular level. I mean, previously you kind of had your Spiceworks admin, you had your help desk admin, help desk tech, and then reporting role, and then of course your end user role. This one goes a little bit further and allows you to just basically deny access to various modules, whichever ones that you desire, based on groups that you just create on the fly. The trick to this is that you have to, before you do this, basically what you're saying is you're giving Pepper Roles kind of full carte blanche access to your system, or at least be able to control the access to the system. So by using that in that way, you have to grant everybody administrative permissions in Spiceworks, the application, and then you go into Pepper Roles and then you start paring their permissions down. So so if some people might be uncomfortable with that, so you have to kind of think about that before you deploy this application, this plugin. Anyway, let's just get to installing it, and then we'll take a closer look at that. So right now it is August 5th, 2015, as of the time of this recording, and I am currently running 7.4.00070 on my test machine at home, and we're going to install it. And basically what you need to do, we're in the dashboard view here, you need to go up to your settings. We're going to go to all. We're going to drop down to Manage Apps, and we're going to scroll down until we hit the Add button here. We're brought to the App Center, and we're going to type in Pepper Roles, and here it is on the top here. We're going to click on the link. Oh, it's going to do this thing. Alright, I'm going to pause the video for just a second as I get myself logged in. This is well, it's worth talking about, actually. Occasionally you might see this as you go between the application and the community. You're going to find that it logs you out, so you're no longer logged into the community. So essentially what you have to do is you have to go back into your application. I find this to be the easiest way anyway, and click on the mail icon, and then it'll take you into the application. Then it kind of synchronizes things back up. Let's see if I can do this without doing that here. Let's see if I can go to home base, Spiceworks. Let's see if I can trick it. Let's see, we'll go to start. That'll take us to the community. It's got me logged in up here. Let's go back to this page. We'll refresh and see what happens. Okay, we're logged in now. Okay, so that's another way you can get around to it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and install this. This is the server that we're installing it to. Version of the plugin, the name, and the versions that it is compatible with. So if you have something lower than this, you're not going to be able to install this particular plugin. Should take us back to the Manage Apps area, and it does. Alright, and here it is. He's got this cool little icon here. Michael, if you're watching this, I kind of horked some of your code, and I put it on mine, so now I've done the same thing with my icon. So, so just letting you know, but I did credit you in my code, FYI. Anyway, so we've got it installed here. We want to hit our settings, and here's the layout. The upper left is a field where you can type in a new group and to create a new group. So we have here a drop down. Our only options are basically just new group, and we would type in, let's say, full access. Now this is important to note. When you configure this, and remember, this is taking over all the roles or controlling the roles to the application instead of Spiceworks itself handling that. So before installing this, I have given all my users complete administrative access to the application, and Pepper Roles is going to control that. So with that being said, you have to create a full access group so that you've got someone that can go in and alter these settings in here. That person has to at least have the capability of modifying the settings. We have to select a group first. Let's add this group. Full access. Okay, now we can do this. We go settings, but I'm just going to give myself everything. What would be really nice here is a select all button or a deselect all. Not that I can't click a few check boxes, but that would be nice. We're going to pick our users. I'm just going to give myself access here. We're going to hit add. So we've created a full access group. We've given Rob, myself, full access to all these modules. This is how they're termed as anyway with the plugin. Then if we hit save, it'll collapse this, and we're good to go. So I won't really show you what it looks like for me. It's just basically the same. You know, I'll be able to get to everything that I need to get to: reporting, cloud services, vendors, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and go into the settings again. We're going to create a new one. We're going to call it, let's just give him help desk and reports. Now again, before, what you could do is you could create a help desk user, a tech, or a reporting user. Now what I don't remember is if the help desk tech has access to reports. I don't think that they do. I think the help desk admin does, but the help desk tech does not. So we're going to give this, I'm going to add this group here. We're going to select help desk and reports, and then we're going to add John Doe to this group. We're going to select our roles over here: permissions, help desk, reports, and that's it. We're going to save. It'll collapse the settings again, and then I have another browser open, logged in as John Doe, just because you can't necessarily have two sessions going at the same time in the same browser. So I will bring that up here. And this is currently what it looks like for John Doe. I haven't refreshed the page or anything like that. So the plugin technically is not active on this page just yet. So let's see. I should be able to get to anywhere. Let's go into purchasing. Let's go to purchase list. Right. Now, oh, there it goes. Okay, good. So it did kick myself out. I didn't even have to refresh, which is perfect. So we'll hit OK. The interesting thing here, though, is that and I have not tried it this way, but what happened here now is that the page has gone blank, and I think that's only because I was in a higher privileged mode before I change my settings in my other browser, and then I just clicked on a link here without refreshing anything. So let's go back. I'm going to refresh this page, and then now I don't have access to that either. So let's click on Help Desk. And we have access to our help desk. I like my tickets. And then we should have access to reports. And we do. We do not have access to the purchasing, which we just tried a second ago. And you'll see now it did not take us to the purchasing page. Now it shows us right away that we don't have access, which is good news. Let's try to get to a dashboard here. Okay, good. We do have access to the dashboard, which is kind of nice, I think, because there are useful tools that you can give your help desk person here to kind of give some insight into the inventory. The downside of this, of course, is if you don't want to give them access to the some of these widgets, maybe there should be another permissions page or link that would hide the dashboard. You know, or enable it for whatever role that you wanted to give it to. But again, which is kind of nice. Like I said, I have like the admin. I don't have it installed here. I have an admin broadcast plugin, which would be kind of nice for help desk tech if they wanted to send a message out to their help desk staff, which then it would give them access here. A normal help desk tech role would not give any access to the dashboard. So that is pretty nice. The other thing that I kind of wish this would do is that I wish it would kind of, you know, hide the elements that you don't have access to. Of course, the downside to this is it takes a little bit more programming to do that, and you know, coding. And so, you know, if they change the application, which Spiceworks is known to do, they'll make some, you know, kind of sweeping changes. Then it requires a lot more work on the developer's side. So I can kind of understand why Michael didn't want to do that. It would be kind of a nice to have, though, be honest. But that's kind of how it goes, I guess. So we'll go back here. We're in my other browser here. Something else I kind of wish this had was a like a view-only option. If you're in the help desk, it would be kind of neat to have the capability of like a manager to get into the help desk, take a look at some tickets, look at the history, maybe, you know, even give them access to view inventory items, maybe not modify anything, but just kind of look around at the system without having the capability of changing anything. But again, you know, that would require a lot of additional coding, which would really put a lot of overhead on the developer as far as supporting and maintaining this thing. But you know, like as it sits right now out of the box, this is a great plugin to just kind of help pare down some things. You know, maybe you don't want to give anyone access, you know, for cloud services. Maybe you don't use cloud services at all. You know, just don't give them the permissions to it. So yeah, this is a very useful plugin. I like it a lot. I think you know, some changes here and there, little minor tweaks could really be helpful. But yeah, great plugin. One thing I did notice, and I've notified Michael about this already, is that Firefox 39, which is the current version right now, does have some issues here when you're starting to add groups. So what I would recommend, if you're using Firefox 39, just switch to another browser like Chrome or Opera, like what I'm using here. Everything should work fine. The interesting thing too is that once everything is added into your groups here, and you go back into Firefox, it will work. It's really quite weird. Probably by the time that any of you see this video, there will probably be an update that fixes that issue. Alright, well that's all I've got. That was my take on the Pepper Roles Permissions Management plugin for Spiceworks 7.4. It's a great plugin if you want to control access to different areas of the application. There are other permissions plugins out there. I would suggest you ignore all of them and use this one. A lot of those other plugins just haven't been updated in a long time. This is a really great one. Michael is a great developer. Everything that he's put out is high quality, and I would recommend trying out all of his plugins and applications. Alright, with that, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos if you can, and you know, send me some reviews, and I'll see you out in the community. Thanks a lot, guys.